Wow, I see sun, stars, planets, the moon, satellites, the comets, meteorites, asteroids, and other objects in the sky. I think they are called celestial bodies. Wow, sun and its solar system, and a huge cluster of billions of stars. Isn't it a galaxy?
Yes, it is our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. We belong to Milky Way galaxy.
Let us study this celestial objects. Seems so interesting.
Astronomy is the scientific study of celestial objects, so let's study some astronomy. Looks like the moon is the celestial body closest to us, so let us start with moon.
The moon is the second brightest object in the sky after the sun. It is Earth's only natural satellite. The surface of the moon is covered in huge craters, created from the impacts of comets and asteroids that have collided with the surface over time. Moon is visible because the sunlight falling on it gets reflected towards us. Only that part of the moon is visible on which the light of the sun is reflected towards us. The moon revolves around the Earth, the moon and the Earth revolve around the sun. Phases of the moon. The moon goes through a cycle of phases as it orbits Earth. These phases result from the varying positions of the sun, Earth, and the moon. The primary phases include new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent.
Wow, I see one of the phases of moon, the full moon.
When the moon is at the other side of the Earth, farthest from the sun, the bright part of the moon faces the Earth. This is known as full moon day. During the full moon day, the whole disk of the moon is visible. The illuminated portion decreases every day after the full moon day.
The moon goes through a cycle of 8 primary phases, which are as follows. 1. New moon. The new moon occurs when the moon is positioned between the Earth and the sun, so the side of the moon facing Earth is not visible. The moon appears completely dark during this phase. 2. Waxing crescent. Waxing means it is getting bigger. Following the new moon, a small crescent of the moon becomes visible. The illuminated portion starts on the right side and gradually increases as the moon progresses towards the next phase. 3. First quarter. At the first quarter phase, half of the moon's visible surface is illuminated. A half moon is also known as the first quarter moon. 4. Waxing gibbous. After the first quarter, the illuminated portion of the moon continues to grow. During the waxing gibbous phase, more than half, but less than the whole of the moon is visible. 5. Full moon. The full moon occurs when the entire side of the moon facing Earth is illuminated by the sun. It is the brightest and roundest phase of the lunar cycle. 6. Waning gibbous. Waning means it is getting smaller. Following the full moon, the illuminated portion gradually decreases, and the moon enters the waning gibbous phase. More than half, but less than the whole of the moon is still visible. 7. Third quarter. At the third quarter phase, half of the moon's visible surface is illuminated, just like in the first quarter. However, during this phase, the opposite half is illuminated compared to the first quarter. 8. Waning crescent. Finally, the moon enters the waning crescent phase, where only a small crescent on the left side is visible. The illuminated portion continues to decrease until the next new moon. These 8 phases make up a complete lunar cycle, which takes approximately 29.5 days to repeat. Point to note is that the moon takes 27 days to orbit Earth, but the lunar phase cycle from new moon to new moon is 29.5 days.